All right, so we're still going to looking at characteristics. So we looked at domain. Now we're going to look at range. Range is very similar to domain. Range is y values going to be bottom to top. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. So let's start at the bottom. So here's the bottom right here, right? And it keeps going on forever. Is there a graph? Yes. And if you keep looking, right, if I go down here, there's an arrow. So that means it's still going down. This is still going down. So where is it going down to in terms of the y? Because I need to write down the y values. So if I'm writing the y values and it's going down, what is the y values as this keeps going down, 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 down? Negative infinity. So this is going to be negative infinity in both notations. Okay. And then we're going to look at the top. So we've looked at the bottom and now it says the top. So I'm going to go to the top right here. All right. Is there a graph on that side? Nope. There's no graph on that side. Is there a graph on this side? Yes, there is. Now, does this graph stop here? No, it keeps going, right? So it's going up, 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 up. As it goes up, what's that number that it's going up to? It's going up to positive infinity. So boom, positive infinity in both notations. Now, again, we've talked about this extensively. Because infinity is not a number, it doesn't include, and parentheses is the notation for does not include. All right, so parentheses does not include, and then with the inequality arrows without the equal sign also do not include. So when I'm writing it in the other notation, in set notation, I'm going to write x does not include, does not include. Okay. All right, let's take a look at another one. So again, we're doing range bottom to top. So the bottom, is there a graph right here? Did I touch the green line? No, I did not. So it's not negative infinity. What about a graph right here? Yes. What is the number there on the y-axis? Because I need the y values, right? What's the number on the y right here? 0. All right, so it starts at 0. So the range starts at 0. So both notations 0. All right, then where's the top? Is this the top? No, it's still higher than that. What about that? Is that the top of the green? No. Is this the top? No, because these are arrows, which means what? This goes on forever up. What is forever up? Infinity. So infinity for both notations. Now, this time I'm not dealing with the x values. I'm dealing with y. So I'm going to change my values to y. All right. So I already know infinity doesn't include. That's parentheses. And that's an inequality without the equal on the bottom. What about 0? Does it include 0? So if I go right here at this point right there, is there a green, shading, a green line, a green dot? Yes, there is. Literally, you can see my purple is inside the green. So it includes that point right there. So again, how do I write include? All right, so include is bracket, and in the other notation, you just have to put the or equal to. All right, so includes is bracket. So it includes 0. All right, so then less than or equal to. Okay. All right, let me do a couple more. All right, so range again is y values, bottom to top. Here's the bottom. Does it touch the graph? No, so that's not the bottom. What about here? Nope, it doesn't touch the graph. What about here? Yes, it does. Okay, so the question is, what is that y value at the bottom of the graph? So here, what is the y value right there? 0. All right, so it starts at 0. So for both notations, it starts at 0. Where does it stop? So is there a graph right there? Yes, there is. Is there a graph right here? Yes, there is. Now, I'm out of paper, but is there a graph right there? Yes. And even though this is growing very slowly, it is still growing. So you can see, even though it's growing, the y value is getting larger very slowly, but it's still getting larger. And since this graph goes on forever, the y value will forever get larger, which means it'll go up to infinity. So both notations. All right, do I include 0? So let's look at 0 right there. All right, if I put my dot right there, my purple dot, is it inside the blue? Yes, it is. Now, the only way it doesn't include it is usually when they do that, they'll put a dot, like a circle, like an empty circle like that, and it will look like that. But because this is not an empty circle, it's shaded in, it includes it. All right, so again, to include, bracket, and for the inequality, you put the or equal to. All right, now, because we're dealing with range, again, it should be the y value, not the x value. Those are the values we're looking at. I do not include infinity, so again, no equal to right there. All right, let me do one more and then you do another. All right, so range again, y values bottom to top, right? So y values. So I look at the bottom. Is there a graph right there? Yes. So I'm out of graph paper, but even if I wasn't out of paper, right? So I'm going to keep going. Do you see that it's still going underneath? So there's a graph right there. And if I keep going, if I draw this forever, I'm going to keep going down. So what's the number when I go on forever all the way down? Negative infinity. All right, so negative infinity for both notations. All right. And again, because I'm dealing with y, I'm going to write y. And then on the right, right, so on this side, is there a graph right there? Yes. I'm going to keep going up. Is there a graph right there? Yes. Is there a graph right there? Yes. And again, same thing here. It just keeps going up very slowly, but it's still going up. So there's graphs all the way up. And what's that number? Infinity. So infinity over there for both notations, infinity over there. Now, again, we've talked about this extensively. All right, because infinity is not a number, we cannot include it. So parentheses, because infinity is not a number, we do not put the or equal to right there. So those are the two different notations on how to write range. All right, please go ahead and complete these two. Let's practice.